Want to become a millionaire in 2025? These 6 income streams are your best bet. If I had to start from scratch today, these are the 6 income streams I'd focus on to get rich as fast as possible. So today, I'll break down exactly how they work, how to get started, and the biggest myth about income streams that's holding you back from getting rich. Let's get into it. If you look at income streams of the richest people in the world, you'll understand exactly why you aren't a millionaire yet. If you look at Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Mark Zuckerberg, they all built their fortunes by going all in on one business, not multiple. Elon Musk, it wasn't Tesla and SpaceX. It all started with Zip2. Bill Gates, it started with Microsoft. Mark Zuckerberg, it started with Facebook. He then later bought Instagram. They all built their fortunes by going all in on one business, not diversifying. If you look at me, my first consistent income stream was crazy. I went all in that one company and it made me millions of dollars. Look, by focusing and mastering one income stream first, you'll notice that it'll start growing faster. And then you can diversify to maintain and grow your income and reduce risk. But going all in is how you make the money. If you start off by diversifying, you'll be spreading your time into too many different areas, and what you'll find is none of them will produce the results that you want. This is why you first focus, and then you can get into diversification later. If you look at me, when I first started off, I just had one income stream. Now I have multiple. I recommend that you start off the way I did, by having just one income stream, and pick the one you want. This is the first millionaire income stream I would focus on to get rich as fast as possible. This is the biggest income stream most millionaires rely on. My largest success to date was NP Digital. It's a global ad agency. It's become one of my primary wealth building vehicles. I've went all in the last 7 years on this business. It's all I focus on. When you have a business, you can control the business. It allows you to pick and choose what you want to do, unlike traditional jobs. And sometimes you'll make decisions that make you a ton of money, and sometimes you make decisions that lose you money, but the decision is yours to make. You are in control of your own destiny versus someone else. The way I would go about building a business is to first create a brand. When you get out there and you build a brand, whether it's a personal brand or corporate brand, you're gonna have an audience. You can then monetize this audience. If you look at me, I post on social media each and every single day, even if it's a holiday. There are no vacations. And I do this on 6+ social networks because according to Sprout Social, the average person logs into more than 6 social networks per month. So by being consistent, people are continually seeing my content out there. And here's a cool, crazy part. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of followers or not. Social media is democratized. They don't care how many followers you have. They just care how good your content is. If your content's amazing, they'll showcase it to everyone. Why? Because it keeps people on their platform engaged. A great example of this is years ago, I saw this dude longboarding to work, drinking cranberry juice. I never followed him, but why did it go viral on the internet? It's because everyone was engaging with it. So he built up a follower really fast. There was also another video that I saw from this girl that I never followed. And she was talking about how she was looking for a guy in finance who was 6 foot and had a trust fund. And the whole internet saw it. And she started getting thousands and thousands of followers really fast. This just goes to show you don't need tons of followers to have your content go viral and be seen by everyone. Instead, you just need to create really amazing content that people engage with. Now, I don't recommend creating a meme like looking for a guy in finance or skateboarding to work on the busy road or freeway, because that could be dangerous. Instead, what I recommend is creating educational content that's just amazing and provides a ton of value. When you gain those followers, they're much easier to monetize. If you have a following for creating a catchy video like I'm looking for a guy in finance, it's hard to monetize that. But if you look at me, I create educational content, specifically on entrepreneurship and marketing. It's much easier to monetize that. So pick an area that you're passionate about and build a following. Then later on, you can monetize it. This income stream is one of the safest ways to build wealth over a long period of time. The first home I bought was a condo in Seattle, and I bought it after the 2008 crash. And you know what? I sold it for a profit, and I reinvested it into more properties. Owning a property is better than renting due to appreciation and equity growth. If you're looking to make money in real estate, a few beginner tips is A, pick an area where there's a large population, because if there's a large population, you're always gonna have someone who wants to buy your home. If you buy a home in the middle of nowhere, it's hard to appreciate because there's not that many buyers. The second thing you wanna look for is a place that's central. If it's close to freeways, grocery stores, shopping, has a good walk score, that's a positive sign as well. Third thing you wanna look for is good school district. A lot of people don't wanna pay for private school. I don't blame them. Why would you want to pay for private school when you can send your kid to a really good, amazing public school? The fourth thing I would look for is a great kitchen. A lot of times what sells a home when people first get in is the kitchen. So make sure the kitchen is great. And the fifth thing is a walkable floor plan. If the floor plan isn't usable, it'll cause people to not really want the house over time. Some things like a kitchen or flooring or carpet you can update over time, but a messy floor plan that's not usable is hard to fix. Now with real estate, the key is you just slowly start paying it off, and over time, as a property appreciates and you owe less on it, you'll gain wealth. When I look at NP Digital, we have over 1,000 employees. You want to know one of the big ways that a lot of my employees have done well? Well, we started our office in San Diego back in the day. A lot of our employees bought homes. A lot of them become millionaires solely because of their homes. Now, of course, they made money in other ways, like working for us and investing, but their home alone has made many of our employees millionaires. Millionaire income stream number 3 can make you an insane amount of money within the next 5 to 10 years if you approach it the right way. Have you noticed that a lot of the people who invested in companies like Uber and Google and YouTube early on made a killing? Angel investing is one of the best ways to make a lot of money. The tricky part is, how do you find the right companies and get access to them? Well, there's a cool site called Angel List, which showcases a lot of the top investors, and you can actually follow them and put money alongside them for some of their deals. This way, you don't have to go out there and vet every single startup, and you can pick and choose the ones you want based on the angel investors you like and their track record. But I recommend with angel investing that you start small, because with startups, they're not as liquid as things like the stock market. So your money is tied up for a longer period of time. And of course, it can go to zero. And I don't recommend that you get into angel investing unless you're willing to invest into 10 startups. Here's the reason. A lot of the startups that you think will work, don't work. And a lot of the ones that you think won't work, do end up working. Great example of this is Poppy. It was on Shark Tank. A lot of people didn't want to invest in it, yet they just got acquired for $1.8 billion. That's a lot of cash. But starting from scratch can be high risk, high reward. If you want a safer investment that can still make you a ton of money, start this fourth income stream. If you look at my ad agency, NP Digital, we've acquired smaller agencies to grow faster. You can leverage things like SBA loans, and every country has their own versions of it, where you can get a loan as a small business, which allows you to expand faster. If you look at NP Digital, we've done tons of acquisitions. We've done Rebel House in Canada, which is a creative shop. We did Search Guru. We did Uber Suggest. We did Answer the Public. These are all examples of acquisitions, and all of them have worked out well. Now, it doesn't mean that every one of your acquisitions is going to work out well, but the key is to really good diligence. For every deal that we've bought, we've probably turned away 40, 50 other deals. And we've even been mid-process in buying a company and continually looked at their progression each and every single month to make sure their financials are going the way they're saying they should be going. And when we notice they continually miss numbers, we back out. Why? Because we don't want unnecessary risks. So the key when it comes to buying companies is diligence. Make sure you're 110% sure that the company is a good fit for you. And on top of just buying it, ideally, if you already have a business, you can cross-sell. So for example, at NP Digital, sometimes we buy companies in other regions. We bought Search Group, which was big in Malaysia, Singapore, and Hong Kong. We already had clients that wanted to be in those regions. We were then able to take our customers and cross-sell them into more regions because we now own Search Group. And we were able to take their customers and cross-sell them into all the other regions they did not offer. In addition to this, another way to make money by buying corporations is to look for stuff that they're doing inefficient. For example, there's a lot of brick and mortar businesses that don't do online marketing, don't even set up localized landing pages, or don't even optimize for their Yelp reviews. By fixing a lot of these things, you can grow these local businesses. If you're trying to find a business, you can do cold outreach, which is what we do a lot, where we're emailing out companies, but we're also looking at websites or marketplaces that list businesses. Flippa is a great example of a website that showcases all the websites and businesses that are for sale in different categories. You can go there to find businesses literally all over the world that are digital. This is a great way to find businesses. They have explainer of that business, they provide data, and then you can look at it, analyze it, and request more information if you're interested. But you shouldn't just invest in other businesses if you want to build wealth. This fifth millionaire income stream is the safest and one of the most profitable investments you can make. If you look at how I built a lot of my wealth and how a lot of other entrepreneurs have built their wealth, it's from focusing. We didn't diversify. And what we did is we doubled down in what we know. If you look at Warren Buffett, a lot of people made fun of him because early on he didn't invest in any tech companies and miss out on a lot of profits. But Warren Buffett said he sticks to what he knows. And Warren Buffett's one of the richest people in the world. Could he have made more money if he invested in tech? Sure, but he's rich enough. You don't have to be great at everything. Double down at what you're good at. Reinvest your money into your own business and double down on what you're good at. For example, I'm good at marketing. So I've taken a lot of my own money and reinvested it into NP Digital and continually double down to grow my ad agency faster. And according to Adweek, we're one of the fastest growing agencies to exist. Why? Because I continually double down into what I'm good at. It's the highest leverage that you have, is to invest into what you know that other people may not be as good at. The key to reinvesting in yourself is to double down when you have something that you can scale faster. When you're just trying to come up with ideas and concepts, you don't want to invest too heavily and all your money right then and there because it may or may not work out. But when you have growth and you're getting traction and you see how this is a viable business, that's when you should double down because it allows you to scale faster. And you've already taken away a lot of the risk by validating your product or your idea or the overall business. Millionaire income stream number 6 will make you a ton of passive income over time. A lot of people love spending their money. Who doesn't like buying new fancy stuff? For example, a lot of people own Teslas, but you know what would have done better for you than just buying a Tesla car? Buying Tesla stock. If you bought Tesla stock instead of the car earlier on, you would have more than 10 times your return. Another example of this is Apple. If you bought Apple stock instead of the iPhone each and every single time they release a new model, you would be much more well off. According to Nasdaq.com, if you spent $499 buying Apple stock when it first came out with the iPhone, it would have been worth over $20,000 today. That's worth much more than the iPhone itself. Now imagine doing that each and every single time a new iPhone model came out. That wealth would have compounded. The same goes with Bitcoin or high quality stocks. By just investing in what you believe in instead of buying stuff that you don't need, you're much more likely to make money. And hey, worst case, you just don't have that item that you were trying to buy. There's no big deal because most of those items aren't worth much years later. Now, I wouldn't recommend putting all your money into this, but if you take a fraction of your money, again, the amount that you would have spent buying that product and instead bought the stock, you should be better off. Believe it or not, sometimes you don't even need to build anything to make millions. Income stream number 7 is literally just you. If you look at my social media presence, it led to over a $500,000 book deal and over $1 million a year in speaking fees, at least when I want to speak. If you consistently put out amazing content and you build a brand within whatever vertical that you want to be known for, it makes it easy to monetize. The key is to just not deviate into another industry. For example, I don't go posting content outside of marketing and entrepreneurship. Why? Because if I do that, then I'll be known for random stuff like fashion, although I don't really have a fashion sense. And it becomes hard to monetize your audience because what are you really known for then? But instead, when you focus and you consistently post content around one subject and you educate people and you get known for it, you can continually monetize it over time. The key with this strategy is A, join 6 social networks because the average person uses more than 6 social networks per month according to Sprout Social. B, consistently post each and every single day while repurposing content so you don't have to create new content for each social network. For some of them, you could just repurpose and it'll save you time. C, your content needs to be unique, fresh. It can't be the same regurgitated stuff that people have talked about over and over again. And D, you need to have a call to action. Let people know where they can go to learn more. Collect an email list, right? That could be a call to action for an ebook. And when you've built up this audience, you have that email list, you can then monetize it later on by just sending out an email blast. Now, if you want to learn more on personal branding, check out this video on personal branding that I just created.